Hello and welcome back to Take Refuge 3D with me, Peter. And in today's episode of the live stream, we're going to model some props for this secret scene I've been working on for a little while. And as you can see, there's a few things scattered about the table. There's a couple of mugs, a beer bottle, and other things. So what we'll do is we'll crack into it, and I'll just save the current scene that I'm working on. All right, and as you can see on screen, we do have the Angon Pro on sale at Blender Market. Links in the bio, or in the description rather. And you can go over and you can see that there. So what we'll do is we'll come into Plasticity, and I do have some reference here for some of the things. I think we might start with the milk crate. That would be quite a fun little exercise to start with, and then we'll move on to these beer bottles, an opened tin of sardines. We might have to make the sardines in Blender, and moving on from there, we will make some beer bottles, and I'm quite interested to try and make this cap kind of realistic. So let's crack into it. I'll just keep this over here, and we'll get the milk crate over here, and we'll just start a new file. Okay, so for the, I think what we'll do for the milk crate is we'll model one side, and then we'll rotate it, and then we'll do the bottom. So what we want it to be is we want it to be approximately, I'll just delete this, and we'll make this smaller. And it's always a little bit slow to start with me, and then we get into it, and then we start to get the cool stuff going on. So let's get that. That's about small enough, maybe even smaller. Okay, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Welcome everybody that's joined so far. And let's crack into it. Let's get all the way down to the grid down here. I'll just make something so I can zoom in. Oh, Blender controls. Okay, so I think we want this to be approximately 75 centimeters by 75 centimeters. So we'll make the base, and we'll go 750 millimeters. That's not right. Let's just quickly get our preferences in order. We'll go centimeters, grid size, 200, and we can accentuate every 5. Okay. All right. Hopefully this works okay. Sometimes this grid gets a bit buggy. And we'll go 75 by 75. And that's quite big. Okay. So what we want to do is duplicate this. Actually, let me just give me a moment, and I'll put on screencast keys. Okay. Because everybody always asks for screencast keys. I think that's working, so we'll crack back into it. And I'll pop out the chat so I can see it. Okay. Okay. So we're going to rotate this on this pivot here by 90 degrees. Okay. So now we've got that there, we can start to build a shape up. So how are we going to do this? I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Let's just have a play around, have a muck around. We'll get rid of, we'll hide our, and I might just want to thicken this sheet. And nobody's really joined yet, but hopefully that will change. Okay, so we don't really want to bevel that edge just yet. So what I might start to do with this, we'll go back a couple of steps and I might just start to add some loop cuts. Where we need them. And as we do this, we'll start to build up some kind of little shapes. I just want this half, half, half. Then we can delete these two. Half, 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 and we can delete these two. And actually we can just mirror this now on the X. Okay, and we'll pull this down like this, slowly but surely making this work. Okay. Can we drag this across? No, we cannot. So I think that's all good, to be honest. We can delete these ones here. We can mirror the whole guy, well, on the X. And join it together. Okay, so we've got this kind of milk cratey looking shape. And what we might do now is put holes everywhere. Actually, we'll add some more details here. And slowly working with this okay. Okay, now let's select 4 and let's thicken this sheet inwards actually. That might have been too far. Welcome anyone who's just joining now. And we are slowly working our way into making a milk crate. This is just going to be a background asset, so we don't need to be super detailed, but we'll try and get some details to make it look realistic. Let's rotate these on, let's make a pivot point up here. So they're coming out like that. And then we can do something similar. We can pull these in. And hold down shift, and these have lines where I don't want them, but we'll just see if this works for us. Yes, it does. Okay. And let's extrude these. And actually, let's duplicate that. And we'll just scale it out a bit, like so. And we'll thicken that sheet. And then we will also incorporate it into our model. Okay, there we go. So we're starting to get some kind of detail. I think these chamfers are quite nice down here, so we'll try and get those in there so we get some highlights and edges. And let's do the same down here. Except rotate it a little bit. Oh, it does not like that. Welcome to whoever's joining. Welcome to the Take Refuge stream. And we're just making some props. As you can see in this scene. We're going to make a few different props quickly and maybe even go through to texturing them. At the moment, I'm just trying to make these milk crates down the bottom, but that's basically what we're working on at the moment. And I'm just trying to get some shape to this milk crate. Some nice little highlight corners and things like that. Okay, so let's just have a look, see what this looks like. If we have a milk crate like that. Okay, it looks okay. I think let's just use this as a construction plane. Whoa. Let's use that as a construction plane. What happens if we... Let's get rid of the construction plane and let's check what that looks like as a rotation of 4. Okay, it's starting to look... starting to look okay. I think that looks like something we could use. However, I do probably want to go back for just a second and we can I don't know if I liked that one exactly. I think I like this with the sides better, so let's just have a look. And we will have to do the interior as well. I think that's much better. Okay, so let's just focus in on this. We've got these kind of little jutty bits. So I think I actually want to extrude these out a bit further. Like so. And let's just put it. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that, to be honest. Okay. And then, yeah, I think we can give it these little flourishes like so. Or maybe like so. Okay. So starting to look like something anyway. And then we've got these kind of parts that kind of go in a bit. So they go quite deep on the actual one, but I don't think it will matter too much because it is. And we'll give that, actually, we can give that the double whammy. Okay, so let's bring these in. And we'll give them all a nice, so Control and Alt, and then Control Shift Alt to select the loop. And there we go. And we can give this a fillet. Woohoo! And we can do the same on these larger ones here. Chamfer or fillet. Doesn't really matter. I'm not even really paying attention to the overall shape of it, but we do want to get this handle in, so I'm just going to get rid of everything here. Shift X. Oh, didn't quite manage all of it. Shift X. Shift X. And then we end up with these two. Okay, now let's add a face here. Call it G0. And one here. Oh. What have I lost here? Oh, that's because I did that one. Okay, so this is the back face. Okay, and this can be the front face. Okay, let's put a handle in here. Let's scale it up like that. And give these some nice shape. And we'll give it a bit more. And what we'll do, pull this out. Make it a Control F, Alt F, rather. Okay, we've got a sheet there. We can thicken that out through there, and have it either side like that, and then we can just pull that through. Well, actually, we can. Hmm. Okay, let's just join these two together. And then we can pull that through. There we go. Okay. Alright. Okie dokie. So we've got this handle on there now. Okay. Boom. Okay, we are getting somewhere. And I think I want to make the interiors of this nice and rounded. And then we can give some overall chamfers to every corner and edge. And actually, before I do that, I think maybe I want to. No, I do want to do that. Or do I? Do I want to make these more rounded? Okay, let's give these a bit of a rounding up the top, and then the bottom ones can be more square, so it's kind of like a we'll just choose that as a reference. Okay, so we're starting to get our milk crate, but I still want more details on that because milk crates are always very we'll give this some real alrighty. Nobody's really hanging out, but that's okay. I would just be modeling anyway, so I might as well keep the stream on. And we really just want to pump up the highlights on these corners. So, well, what about this corner here? This is a very, I don't know if this will work or not. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what this looks like for any of you that are watching in the future and not in the present. Okay, I will need to pull this out by about that far. So let's get a measurement and just do this. Okay, so GY minus 0.437, and let's rotate that around one more time and have a look. And I'm going to stick this to 4. Okay, I think let's do it by that measurement one more time. G minus, we'll just go 0.4 y. Hang on. Gy minus 0.4. And let's yeah, I think that's good enough. Does that look like a milk crate or what? And then we can, once we join it together later on. But let's just look at the inside, and there is just a little bit of a lip in there. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of these lines. And we'll extrude out a little lip in here. Extrude. About that. And then we can give it that, and then just see what it looks like once we've rotated it. Oh, and it remembered the 4 that time round. Lovely. Okay. So I think let's work on the inside now. And I think we'll just give this some very basic detailing on the inside. Actually, no. We'll make this very shallow. Just something to catch the light in the final model. And if you can hear any noise in the background, that is my girlfriend playing Elden Ring. I do apologize. She likes to get vocal with the bosses. Welcome, new guest. We're just modeling some props here for the secret scene that I've been working on for the last little while. So that's our secret scene, and these are the props in the scene. And I'm just doing some different things to put on a table, including some beer bottles. So I'm just in Plasticity trying to make them as detailed as possible in a reasonably short time. So that's what we're doing today, and welcome. Whereabouts in the world is everybody coming from today? I'd imagine it's just after lunchtime here in Australia, and I guess it's just after dinner time in North America. And if you're in Europe, you probably should be in bed by now. Alrighty. So just to catch the light, just these very slight details on the back. Alright, and that should do the job of catching the light sufficiently from the interior of this mesh. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. As I have had problems with sound in the past. Okay, let's just quickly inspect. That looks sufficiently like a milk crate to me. Okay, and then let's check the silhouette. Alright. Okay, so I think let's work on the base now. That we've got that, we'll just turn the edges back on. What kind of base does this have? It's kind of structural but pretty simple. So what we'll do, how do we do this? I think it's going to be as simple as making a square to come to the edges here and making it maybe come up as high as that. And let's just use an array. Let's just use an array. Okay. How many's in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, but let's say maybe 9 by 6. Let's give it a go. Let's make our shape first to cut out. And we'll make these rounded shapes. Let's bring this up and bring that through. And let's just do a regular array on the X. And we'll make, come to about there. Hang on, regular array on the X. Come to about there and we'll go 9. And then we'll do the array again and on the Y. And 6. Yeah, I think 6. Okay, so let's now get rid of those. So I'll click Q and just select all of these. And boom. Okay, so we can get rid of our measurement from before and we can get rid of all of our curves. And I think that might need to be a little bit fatter. I think the fatter needs to come up this way. And we'll just bring these out actually. Okay, and that's about good. Okay, so then we can now, I think we're nearly done with this milk crate, to be honest. And it really just needs a slap of a couple of layers of a triplanar plastic texture, and then a couple of layers of dust and dirt using a curvature mat, cavities and peaks, scratches, done. Background asset sorted. And we just, actually, why am I doing it like that? Why don't I do it like this? And we'll give these okay. Let's just take everything. QQ. And we have a milk crate. Boom. Okay, that was quite fun. And don't forget we've got Engon Pro on sale. 25% off at Blender Market. And all good. let's crack on with this. And we'll just get these final little details in. Okay, so we got that. Let's get these all nice and curved up, so we can add our final fillets to this asset. We'll make that caudal. Okay, and what are we going to do down here? I do wish we had the okay, this should work. We'll go beat. And maybe in the other direction. Holding down shift. And let's get rid of these ones in the middle. And if we can, and make them chamfers instead. Oh. It will not let us, so let's just get this one as a okay. Will it let us do that now? Yes, okay. Alrighty. Let's make a chamfers on these. And that should look quite nice. Just need to hold down shift, I think. Okay. And then for these, we can do a small fillet. Alrighty. Very small fillet, and we'll do something similar here. Okay. Boom. Okay, so once this is an asset in a video game, if you apply physics to it, it should have light reflecting off every corner, which will add to the realism, and especially with things like Nanite and Unreal Engine, that will just give quite... So I wasn't aiming to make it look like a realistic milk crate, but a milk crate that looks like something that looks like a milk crate and acts like a milk crate when you put it in a video game. So if you kick it across the room, you should see little highlights popping off all the corners. No matter what angle, there's going to be a highlight edge, and that's cool. Alrighty, so it might not be low poly, it might not be for your mobile games, but definitely as a next gen game asset, Definitely going to look great. I hate this matte cap. Alrighty. So let's move on to our second prop. So we're going to call this one, we've ended up with one solid, and we're going to call this milk crate. Oh. And we're going to Control G and add it to a group called finished props. And then we're going to turn that off. And let's work on our next prop. What do we want to do? The chair could be quite fun, reasonably easy. I think I want to work on one of these beer bottles with all the details. And I think the VB bottle wins because it's got better details. So, there we go. Victoria Bitter, for those who don't know. Alright. So, I think the best way to do this is to download a VB picture. This one that I've got here. Save image as, and what kind of image? It's the wrong kind to drag into Plasticity. Let's click on images. That does not have the details on it. You can just see what I'm up to. This one here looks like a render actually, and it looks like it has the details on it. So let's save image as. And where are we going to put this? YouTube. Okay. Hopefully it was the right kind. Okay. Yep. Let's just drag that in there. Scale it down. And it would be cool to even get this text on here, or something similar to it anyway. Okay, so let's get our shape to start with. So I'm just gonna go and bring the opacity of this right down, and let's get that bottle in here as well. Alrighty, get rid of this small one, and we've got a nice reference up there, plus the reference in the background, and we'll just bring the opacity of this material down. Okay, so we're just going to follow along with the shape to begin with, and I'm especially excited to try and do the cap here. Alrighty, so we got that in the middle. Let's just bring it back a bit and G, Y, and make it locked so we can't select it. Yeah, perfect. Alright, let's get a circle, and we can obviously scale this to the It's clearly not 25 centimeters. And I think we'll just use lofting for this one, so we can just scale various circles around there. And you notice that there is a small bevel here, or a chamfer. So we might have to do some surfacing even. And then that comes all the way up to there. Okay. And then we get this nice I don't know if I should have used a lofting or a curve. Well, we'll find out in a moment. And welcome to whoever's just joined. We're working now on a beer bottle after having finished a milk crate or a beer crate or whatever you want to call it. So we're just working on props for a scene. And one by one, we're going to just slowly get it all sorted. So that is what's going on. And I might even text to them on the stream if I've got time by the time I'm finished. So I'm sort of racing against time to some degree, but also not really racing against time, but still trying to get quality. That's the aim of the game today. And welcome. Whereabouts do you hail from? What's the time where you are? It's mid-afternoon here and about 32 degrees outside, so I shall not be going outside. (32°C), so hot, not 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which would also be a horrible experience. Let's just loft these together one by one and see if the shape... No, let's use a curve, because that is not what I wanted. No, let's use a curve. Okay. So we've got our first circle down the bottom, and let's use a control point curve. Okay. And then let's just get this slight bevel like that. And then let's use a straight curve again. Right up till we get here. And then let's use another control point curve. Holding down Shift or Control. Okay, I think a curve is much more of a better way to do this. Okay, and then we'll get this guy out here and up a little bit. And just holding down Control. Get a nice little curve in there. And then I think that will do for that. And then we can take this in like so. And we do need to get the inside of this as well. So the inside will go down to about there. And because it is going to be a transparent, so we do need the inside. And let's just try and guide this along approximately this white line should be a good indicator for the thickness of the bottle. We'll come down to here. And let's call that one in. Okay, and then let's get our control point curve again and match that to there roughly. And there we go. So then we can just get this one across like that. And then we can join everything except for this bottom curve. Let's J. Okay. And revolve I think that's fine. We do need to actually it's not fine. Let's welcome back. Okay. And let's revolve that around that. Revolve. Okay. So this can be our VB bottle. Let's get rid of our curves. And then let's do some details. Okay, so we can pull this down slightly. Give it a small chamfer like that. And let's just hide our background object because we've got our reference on screen. And it's going to go to, give me 1 second. Be back in a moment, guys. Anybody that's here, that is. Okay. Okay, I'm back, and we'll carry on now. Welcome, welcome whoever's here. I don't know if you were the person that was here before, but we're just making some props in Plasticity, and I made this milk crate earlier on, and that's what we're working on now, and this bottle here as well. So we'll actually, I'm going to call this a plastic milk crate plastic, so I can easily reference the texture in there later. Okay, so glass bottle. Now let's work on getting some of the details on this glass bottle. So we've got this nice little bevel here. I think we just need to rotate it somehow, if it'll let us. It will not. So what we maybe need to do is, will it allow us to drag it down or drag it up? Nope. What we maybe need to do is loft these in again like so, as a G1 or a... I think even though that's not how it is in real life, I think that's cool for video gamey purposes. Okay, and let's give this a chamfer down the bottom. Oh, it does not have a... so we can give that a chamfer down there, but let's do it like so. And welcome all viewers. Let me know where you are in the world and what the weather's like and what the time of day is, because it's hot and sunny here in Melbourne and about 32 degrees and loving it. So we've got these like writing down here. And then we've got this up here. I think I want to just deal with this area up here a little bit, so we can like maybe let's see what a G2 looks like there. Won't even give us a G1. So we might need to get rid of that bevel, and then will it let us loft in a G0, then we can join these and that. Presently snowing. I would kind of prefer snow to hot here that we've got right now, but it's all good. I'm guessing you must be either in Europe or North America. And this is a local beer to here in Australia called Victoria Bitter. It's not really a proper bitter beer, but it is what it is. I don't like that, but it's the only one that it'll let me have. So, wonder what happens if I just loft that. And then I can, join, patch, G1. Okie dokie. I think I might be spending too much time on this. Section here. Now what happens if I loft these two together? I just want to get a little bit of shape to this. I don't know why the G2s always go inwards on this, but oh. Maybe if I... No, I'm just going to leave it for now. I just want to actually focus on these details. So, if I give myself a line here, and then just mirror the whole thing. Okay, I get that. And then I can maybe see how a patch like that will work. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then we'll use that area for the, if it'll let me, as a construction plane. Yes. Okay. So let's get some of these details on here. So this is a kind of a, I guess, a rounded square. This would not be a 40, this would be a stubby. 375, yeah, that's definitely a stubby. So, you know, when it's hot weather, you don't want your bottles to be too big because, you know, they get, what's the word? Warm quickly. So you want lots of small bottles rather than a few big ones. When I used to live in Europe, I used to drink 500ml cans, and then let's extrude and thicken. I think that's too square. We'll get it almost something like that, and I think we want it to be a little bit oblong as well, so we'll just drag that down like that. And we don't do 40 ounces, we do what we call a tawley or a long neck. I'll show you. What's it? Cooper's is probably the recognized brand for long necks. So one of these here, what's a PNG? One of these would be like 3 of these. Roughly, oh no, like almost 3 of these. So this is a 750ml. Yeah, Red Stripe is, oh yeah, that Red Stripe sells stubbies. But we used to drink Red Stripe in cans, 500ml cans in London. I'm not a big fan of Red Stripe, to be honest. Sorry, my Jamaican friends, but it's not my favorite beer in the world. And I don't even hardly drink anymore, like once in a blue moon. But when I do, I tend to just drink the low carb stuff that it doesn't taste that good, but it doesn't make me any fatter than I already am. Alright, so we're going to extrude this now, and we'll just thicken the sheet out a bit like that. I think reasonably fat. And then we can oh, maybe I should, maybe if I just take these 2 curves from it, just hide that for a second, get rid of our original curve, which is that one, and let's imprint this. But do we want our letters in there first? Okay. Normal or vector? Normal's not going to work, or is it? Okay. Let's get this on and see what the shape looks like, and then we'll try for the letters. Whoop. Okay. Let's get this out like that. And I know it's got this kind of other kind of flourishes, but I'm trying to get this done quickly, and it's for a scene where it will be a very minor asset, so I'm not going to spend forever on those flourishes. Oh, actually it kind of does get those tapering effect to some degree. Well, that is a happy accident, I think, but it's still way too far out. Alrighty. Here we go. But this outer one doesn't want to... Why is that? Oh, there we go. And we got this one here. Okay, so I'm going to make that a permanent construction plane that I can come back to. I just want to have a look at this. My main modeling software is Blender. That's my favorite modeling software of all time. It's what I started on. I've tried out other packages like Maya and 3ds Max and all sorts of things over the years. And Blender's just what I first used, and I find Plasticity quite handy because it's quite similar to Blender in its control scheme. And I haven't really used other CAD software, and Plasticity perfectly suits my needs. Let's try and... what am I trying to do here? Let's maybe just loft these, if it will let me. With a G2. And then join these together. And why haven't I got a solid? What am I missing to make a solid? Did I have a solid before? No, I had sheets as well, so what am I missing? Let's have a look. Is it that tiny little hole there? Okay, there's that hole. And is there another one? Okay, this should make solid. Make the inside of that beveled. Okay. Where is the gap? Is this it here? I think it might be. Yes. So, just loft these one at a time. And then 4, J. Why won't it join that? You know what? Let's just get rid of everything up here. Everything here. That. And that. Let's just loft these two together. And we can work on the top later. Still says it's a sheet. Oh, that's because there's 3 of them. Okay, so those two join together, and what's this? Oh, yeah. Very powerful software without getting too bogged. Yeah, exactly right. So I think that lack of, you know, I've had a few, you know, been doing plasticity videos for since it came out, so almost a year. And occasionally you get people saying, you know, it's not real CAD software or whatever. Oh, I've got solids now. Hooray. And we can get rid of this guy. Okay. And then find boundary edges. Let me test that out. Hold on. What mode do you need to be in to do find boundary edges? Wow, there you go. Thank you very much. I did not know that. That is perfect advice, because I know how to do that in Blender, but not in Plasticity. Okay, so if I patch, is that a... I just want to see what happens if I patch this now. Will I get some extra details? No. Yeah. Yep, figured it out. Thank you very much. That's a very good little tip there, because that's something that's kind of bothered me for ages. What I was doing is I was and I might have even done this on stream. I was using the Blender bridge, going into Blender, and then finding non-manifold edges, which is a really slow way about doing it. So I appreciate that. Alrighty, let's... I think it looks raised here, because that shadow is also there. It might be embossed. I don't have any VB bottles around to as a reference, but let's have a look at some other ones online. VB bottle. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely raised. Okay, so I think I want to put some kind of joke in here. So it's a CBU. Maybe CUNT. See you next Tuesday. All right, let's get some text. Let's temporarily hide this. Get our text in here. I'm not going to go too flash with this. Okay. C U N T. And let's find a different font. Something serifed like that. Is there any other serif fonts in Plasticity? I think that's the only one. No, here's one. Okay. So is this bad? Is this a bad idea? It looks like a Glaswegian gang logo from the 1970s. Maybe if we scale this one down. What's it called? It's called... I can't remember the name of it. Give me a second. It's called Carnac. C-A-R-N-A-C. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think from a design perspective, but let's give it a go. Let's start trimming off the bits that we don't need. I think that needs to be smaller, doesn't it? Even smaller. I think just that. That's fine. So let's start trimming off the bits that we don't need. The joke's not really there anymore, but somebody can extrapolate if they want. Whoa, how did I get here? Alrighty. Okay. Just one more trim over here. G, T. And that should... Well, okay, so we can now unhide our bottle, but not our milk crate. And we can have a little peek. Where's our text gone? We'll go into our custom plane and we'll GG our text to be here. Now we can get rid of the T. Actually, let's just isolate it for a second. Oh. And we'll just GG that over here. And we'll unisolate it. And we'll scale it up. And we'll Control-Shift-C. If it will allow us. No, we'll just Shift-D. GG. And we can scale that down a little bit. Rotate it. And let's go back up. Shift-I. And let's make that on a normal. Hopefully it does not. Let's scale it. And let's center it. Shift-I onto the bottle. Now is that vectoring through the back? It is. We want to just get the normal project, which does get a bit funky sometimes. Okay, let's just accept that. We can just hide our curves for now. And this might give us some trouble, but let's try and just find all of these corners. Actually, let's just try and give everything, if it will allow it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I do think I prefer the normal projection in most cases. Is that a fillet or a chamfer? That is a chamfer. And I think that actually worked. Oh, it really doesn't like this. It is only a background asset, but let's try and do it around the bottom. Or, what's another thing that we could do? We can maybe just try and pipe it in. That probably won't work. Let's give it a go. No. Just trying to think about how to work with this. It is a bit of a pain. Let's get rid of this little weird thing here. I think the chamfer's going to have to do. Actually, let's just try bring it down a little bit. It's because it's rounded. Maybe I should have... Actually, let's take a few steps back before we did this. And let's try and get that roughly aligned with that. I think this might be a bit of a better option. We'll find any corners that can be beveled now, any hard corners, and we need to trim that. That's why we were getting some problems. I think you might have been right. Okay. Now let's just try these connecting corners. Anything here, anything here, here. Actually, might be just easier to do it like this. And then do this. Is that easier? Let's just hide the curve again. All I want is. Let's try. This is a really stupid idea. I'll go back to what I was trying to do before. All right. These are all hard edges, pretty much. But not that one. But this one, this one, this one. And I think I caught all of them. Oh. Let's just join those together. Okay. Slowly, slowly. Doesn't like that. Why not? That's connecting to that. Okay. Okay, it doesn't like that. Why not? Ah, there we go. Trim that off. Whoop. Yep, now it likes it. Okay. Now, this was harder than I expected it at the beginning. And then we just need to give a slight bevel to these two. And we should be right. This should go all the way around, almost. Right, there's a couple more hard. One there. And one there. I think that's one there as well. As well as there and there. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, might not get as much of a fillet as we like, but we'll try. Will we do a G2? Will it let us? I think we're going to have to be happy with that. I'm going to... Oh, before I do that, I might... just hide the bottle. Let's just make it a little bit lower, less prominent. Hide the milk crate again. I think it's not perfect, but it's just something to catch the light rather, when something to catch the light when you're walking around in the video game environment. And then if somebody looks closely, they might extrapolate something from CUN. Or they might think it's a G, gun, who knows. Alright, so let's have a look. I did delete the top of my bottle when I was trying to find the gap. So we're up to there of the bottle. So what we really just want to do is, honestly, extrude, make that a new body. QQ, And then we can just bring this up a little bit, bring this in a little bit, and bring this out a little bit. And that is our bottle top, but I think it needs to be a little bit taller than that, just so we can round off these edges for sipping pleasure. Okay. Alrighty. I feel like it's not as fat as it should be, but it's also not to scale. Let's get rid of these curves down here. And alrighty. Alright, so thanks everybody who's currently present with me. Let's get these details on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to mess around with letters again, but let's just get like a nice, well, let's round. So you've got these kind of studs on the bottom, and then I might put some around the edge as well. So let's just get this beveled slightly. And then, and just a reminder, the Blender Market sale's on. I've got Ngon Pro asset, which we might look at a little bit later on to process these assets. And it's 25% off. So for Ngon Pro, it's $750 US, and you can still get the free version, just the basic version on GUMROAD if you want to download the free version and see what it's all about. But the pro version has a lot more features. Like the whole purpose of Ngon is processing these CAD meshes and getting them ready for game engines as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's enough shameless self-promotion there. And we'll get onto getting these. I think these are kind of feet. So let's just Control 7. Just here. I think I want them about let's scale one. Oh. Okay, well, let's just bring it in a little bit. Bring that down. Let's just give some rounded edges to that. Like so. And let's pull that up. Get rid of our curve. And give this a nice round edge on the bottom. And I think we need it to be a bit bigger than that, to be honest, for it to really... They're quite small there, but in terms of a video game, I want them to be more prominent. A little bit more stylized. And oh, GZ, GY, and we just want that in there like that. And then let's just do a circular array, which will probably come up as 4 because that's what I was using before. And then let's just bring that round to 32 probably. Okay, and let's just incorporate those in. It worked for... Why did that not work? What don't you like about me? We're going to have to do them one at a time. Cute. Cute. I think that worked that time. Okay, now let's have a look at the overall reflectiveness. just turn our edges off for a second and hide our empty. I reckon that's starting to look okay. And I thought I deleted you guys. Okay, so now select all these one by one, or select the whole lot like that. Did that select all? No, that is selecting lines I do not want it to. Let's go back to show edges. I think we just select, there's only 32 of them, so let's get back into this map cap here so we can see what's going on. Actually, what if I do it like this? Is that going to work? Let's give it one. I'll give it one chance, and then I'm selecting them all. No. Oh. Actually, I think that was working. Let's go in the other direction. And then see if quarter will work. No. Can't. Okay, and then let's just check the reflectivity of that. Edges off, and boom, we've got some lovely highlights there. Okay. And we'll do something similar around this area here, but maybe just some weird little circles. And we'll just do a, yeah, I wish there was like a random distance thing for this at this moment. I wanna, how do they look? They're almost spherical. So let's just bring that in like that. Like that. Okay. This should be pretty straightforward. All right, that's fine. Oh, Q. And it works. Okay. Boom. So that's prop number 2, I think. We need to do the lid, which is the thing that I was most excited about. Okay, let's work on that. Okay, so the lid, how are we going to build the lid? Let's start with a circle, of course. All right, we'll bring it up a little bit higher than that. And we want to bring it out a little bit. And then bring it in. Around this area here. Okay, so that's like that. But I was not bringing those down correctly. Okay, so we got our circle, which is not centered, which is what our initial problem was. Now is it centered? Okay. And it needs to be a little bit above. G. Oh, we're on our temporary construction plane. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. So this actually comes up in a funny way. We might need to do some surfacing on this after the fact. And that's about where it should be. And then we want it to come out ever so slightly here, and then come down about like that to there, and then we want it to come in, taper in reasonably rapidly. So let's try that and see what it looks like. I think that's great. Let's get rid of our curves. Okay, and let's fill it. Let's patch this with a G1. That's fine. And does this come down far enough? We want to, and just extrude that down. I'm going to join these two together. Okay, so I don't think we extruded that down far enough. Will it allow us to drag it? No, it will not. So let's go back a couple of steps. Okay. And it's a little bit bigger than I want it to be, so let's just bring the whole guy up. I want that to be reasonably up there, and we want to scale it in like so. I still want to be able to see this lip, because these are going to be wrapping around that lip. And we just extrude, no, Shift D, extrude, and about. It's not going to look exactly right, or is it? I think this comes too far in. The taper is too much here. So we just want to scale all of these to about there. Bring them down to about here. Loft them. And then what we're going to do, delete the curves. And patch that goddamn hole. Alright. And then we're going to Shift D, extrude, no, Shift D, GG, yeah, Shift D again, scale SS, and then let's just loft those together like that, so there is like a little bit of a indentation, and let's join these together. Okay, I know it doesn't look exactly like the bottle top on the other one. However, it will look just fine once we're done with it. Let's thicken this sheet in ways, like so. It's a bit fatter than it would otherwise be, but that's fine. Okay, we've got our lid like that, and we'll just give this a smooth rounding like that. And then we want it to be, like I said, I could spend hours on this trying to get all of these little crinkly highlights, but I can probably use the texturing software to do that as well. Okay, so let's make a shape. And thanks for joining, everybody that's here. Much appreciated. And I'm having a blast. And we'll just get the shape on the front. Oh, hang on. That might be a good place to make a shape. No. On the front. In the center. Alrighty. And there we go. And we want this to be an indentation. And we want to give it some roundness. And it would be lovely if we could get it bulging out, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe. And how big are those ones down there? We kind of want it to be... I think these are a bit smaller. So, but let's just make it a bit bigger. Alright. So what we want to now do is rotate this one around, probably also 32 to around the actual center. Okay, and that's stuck to 20. I think 32 once again is a good number. And then we want to Q and Q. And that's taken far too big of a chunk out, so we want to go back a step. And we just want to scale that. Okay, now. Okay. Q and Q. Okay, I think that's fine. Now we want to try and select, let's hide this, or even just isolate this. I just want to select these edges up the top only. And let's see if it'll let us have a fillet. No, it's not going to let us do that. So what do we want to do? I think if we... No, I want to... move this over on the other screen for a second. Boom. What's that line it's catching? Oh, this one here. Now that might work actually, finally. Let's give this a go. Does one of them work? Okay, we're just going to have to do it the manual way. One at a time. I kind of want to do the inside of them as well. My poor old CPU does not like playing with these. Or GPU, I don't know what it's actually runs off. Let's do them literally one at a time. Oh, is that what it is? In that case, no. Okay, so we're just going to choose these top lines because it doesn't like the inside loop. The inside passage. Alright. I just started playing GTA 5 again with all of the GTA 6 stuff, and it actually holds up pretty well. And I do like quite a lot of the props and the attention to detail on different things. And when you think about it, just the amount of actual labor that goes into making something like that. I know it's like over 10 years old now, but it's phenomenal. It's there's just like certain details. Okay, how is that looking for us? My computer has completely frozen. No. What happened there? Plasticity just crashed. And took me back to this version. Hang on. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. Holy shit. Plasticity just crashed and took me back to like another version. Let's just save this. Okay. Where are we going to go? Props. Okay. Now let's try that again. I don't know if any of you were ever here when I did the Let's Make a Robot in Plasticity stream, and I accidentally opened another file rather than opening a new window, and I had lost like a 3-hour stream of a robot. I am really terrible at not pressing the Control S button. And you're all still here. That joined recently, so thanks a lot, and thanks for anybody new that's just joined. Alrighty, let's try this one out. What? Is it going to crash Plasticity again? Somebody wants to drop a super thanks so I can buy a new GPU. It just does not like it. And then it won't let me go back any further than that. So what are we going to do? I shouldn't have deleted those curves. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Is this how you're gonna make? Is this how you're gonna? Is this how you're gonna play me, Plasticity? Now, what happens if we bevel these two? and here, and that one. Okay. Am I just going to have to start again? That is very frustrating. What about the inside one? And the other direction. Oh, it doesn't seem to mind the inside one, so maybe I can actually just isolate this. Be nice. Let's see if we get crashed again. You might be able to hear Elden Ring being played in the background by my partner. That is so annoying. I think I'm just going to start again on that one. Fuck it, let's start again. Okay. We did it once, we can do it again. We're going to go 1, G, Z. Okay, is that Shift D? I'm going to go a little bit more simplistic this time. And Shift D very slightly in. And Shift D. Oh. Shift D. And very slightly in. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. That is 2. No, this is too fat out there. Hang on. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then we'll just Shift D, extrude. Bring that down to like there. Join these two together. We could do it like that, or we could Shift D, scale, scale, loft these two. There's a G1 maybe. Okay, that's fine. Join those two together. Get rid of these two. We're not getting that cool top in there, but what we can do is we can just do that. Okay, there we go. That looks better anyway, I think. And then we're going to thicken the sheet. Alrighty. Inwards. Okay, and then let's, from our front, let's pre-bevel the inside of it. So let's get these. Let's pre-bevel the inside of it this time. Okay. We'll catch. And we'll just scale that up. Pull it out a bit. And let's give this a rounded edge. And then let's give this a nice rounded edge, and then we can give this lip. Okay. This should work for us. Fingers crossed. Pray for me. Bring this up to 32. Select that, isolate everything. Okay, so that kind of worked. Now, alrighty, so that kind of worked, but I think our inside bevel was too strong. Okay, so we're going to bevel this ever so slightly, and then we're going to grab that out and make sure that this bevel is just nice and gentle, and fingers crossed this time getting stuck on this thing, but I'm kind of obsessed with it now. I think I know where our problem lies. Partially there. And this should come all the way around now, if only mildly. Now, let's do 32 selections. And fingers crossed this time, let's click Control S. We might be able to get some fillets out of this. And it does look a little bit more bulgy and shapeful, so I'm happy about that. And I'm sort of starting to make all of my props reasonably high poly now, because I feel like in the coming years, even if I'm putting them up on asset stores, people can further optimize them themselves if they like them and want to use them. But in the coming years, I think we're going to have more and more high poly assets. And oh yeah. Let's have a look at that. Did it work? It's still thinking about it. No, it failed. So, let's just do a very subtle one. And that one worked. Okay. Now, let's unisolate this. Scale it into position. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look... Hang on. That's more like it. I kind of want it to be above that lip. It's G. There we go. Oh. I think that's a little bit higher. And let's have a look at this in... I think that looks okay, and we can get rid of this curve. And maybe let's have a look in Blender with a different matte cap and just see if it is what we want it to be. I think it looks quite nice though. It'll be like a perfect prop and a next gen GTA type title. So, and once again, Ngon Pro is on. Okay, here's our bottle. Okay, and let's look at a different matte cap. I think that looks quite nice, to be honest. Let's look at it with a glass matte cap. The cap looks all good. Let's look at it with this other kind of metallic. I think this looks really cool. See you in. See you next Tuesday, mate. Okay. I quite like this matte cap that's included with Blender here for looking at highlights and stuff, because it's got this kind of studio light or ring light effect on it. Alright. And maybe let's just look at it in cycles. With a shader on the bottle. And let's just make this a glass shader. And we'll make it green. Let's get a different HDRI in here. There's some light on it. Where is it? Easy HDRI. Okay. Okay, let's get the roughness down. Let's make it a green color. Actually, let's use this new feature of Blender where we can actually sample from, oh, it's a brown color, that's right. So let's get an HDRI with a bit of, let's get some sunlight. This should, actually we need to, let's get some of the darker out of that. And IOR. Is that actually even transparent? I think we need to reduce the roughness down even more. Let's get it behind the sun. Oh yeah, we got that transparentness going on. And let's just get a cap on there. Just make that metallic. Roughness. What color's the cap? Gold. Let's just select that from that metallic all the way up, roughness all the way down. Alrighty. Just needs a label on there, and I think we did a pretty good job. Now, if you're not familiar with Ngon Pro, the way that we would use Ngon Pro for an asset like this, just as a quick demonstration while it's on sale, if anybody's interested in getting it, is we just select our mesh or group of meshes. I'll get these back on. So we've got two meshes here, and we can just say, for example, if we want this, we could so use the Blender bridge to bring this in. So we actually need an Ngon based mesh. So usually I would export it as an OBJ because it's got slightly better settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refacet this as an Ngon based mesh, and then we'll take it up to Ngon Pro, wherever I've hidden it, down here. And if we look at our wireframe, you can see that's an Ngon based mesh, and you can see that's a little bit higher poly and that's a little bit lower poly, but we've got all of these extra details down here, so we can go create low poly, and we've got our low poly mesh. If we turn our wireframe off, you'll see that in the modifier stack you've got these three, and obviously you'll bake normals onto here later on. So what you might want to do is, you might not want this to be 35%, so you could bring this up to something like that. This actually looks like it's survived okay. Just remember, these artifacts do come in there, but if you're baking your normals, you don't need to worry too much about them. And then, for example, with this this area here, I could just select a couple of these in face mode and just bring it out like that, and then I'll just go and exclude faces from decimation. So when we go back here, those will actually be excluded from the overall decimation. So that, yeah, anyway, that's Ngon Pro. And then obviously, like, depending on your texturing workflow, if you want to do vertex colors, you can take it into, we'll just get this matte cap here. You know, you could say, if you do all your metals as a blue vertex color, you just need to and paint that. We'll just go into attribute mode, and you can see that the vertex colors, and then maybe all your glasses or your transparent materials are, I don't know, white or black. So you just add your vertex color, and that's it. There's a lot more to it. Obviously, you can see there's lots of tools here for exporting to texturing software, so go check it out, and if you like it, let me know, leave a review, all of that. So thanks a lot. Okay, let's go back to Plasticity. Okay, let's just get out of Blender and see where we're up to. So what have I made? I've made a milk crate and a beer bottle, and we could probably, so the milk crate was the first thing that I made. I think that came out quite nicely. Let's look at it with this. The beer bottle is obviously way bigger than it needs to be, but we will scale that in Blender later. But I think these look really cool, and this will actually look really cool when there's a bunch of them together in there. So let's Control G this, and we'll call that beer bottle as the group, and then in the group we'll call this glass bottle, and we'll call this metal cap. Okay, and the reason why I'm giving them names is because I've been using this texturing software called Instamat, and Instamat is and we'll just put that into finished props, hide everything, and I think I want to attempt this tin of sardines, to be honest. I have no idea how I'm going to do that rolling. How's everybody going? You guys are enjoying yourselves? Alright, maybe I need some more sardines reference. Okay, I want something with a side angle. Oh, I quite like this one. Let's bring that over. Let's okay, so we can make this whole thing a bit bigger. Let's go to images. Okay, so this is like a side reference. Sardines, milk chocolate sardines. That sounds fucking disgusting. I think that's somebody else's render, to be honest. I don't eat fish, but I think sardines with lemon sounds better than sardines with chocolate. Okay. Thanks everybody for being here and joining in on my stream. And yeah, let's get some more. I think that's enough reference. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get these organized. I think this will be my main reference. I have no idea. I don't think I'm going to try and do that. I think I'd try that in Blender, the actual... Actually, let's do an unopened tin of sardines like this one here. Okay. I'd quite like to do a bit of surfacing on this this here. So let's make this smaller again. And yeah, and actually I want to just have a look at that only. All right. This one, I think the shape, the actual tin itself is going to be easy. Let's say that's about 8 centimeters. I'm just going to press Shift S to subdivide it and just start double clicking these to get this sardines tin shape. Okay. Let's mirror it. And how... I'm just eyeballing this. Okay, so... Do I have these turned on? I do not. So... I think... Let's go back a couple of steps. Can I get... No, that's fine. About that. Why does that keep happening? Alrighty. So... let's quickly... I think I'll do something like that, and then do that, and then we can just slightly offset this, bring it in like that. Hang on, didn't do it for the bottom one, like that. Okay, and then I think I want to make those offsets slightly fatter, like that, and then bring it in. Once again, I'm kind of exaggerating details so that they're a little bit stylized. And then we've got these kind of pipings around, and I kind of want to see if I can do it for all of these. Shift D. What happens when I click P? Something like that. Quite like a structurally sound tin. Okay, so let's QQ. Alrighty. So let's work on this this thing. And I think that's that's going to be quite fun, to be honest. So we've got our piped. Maybe I want a pipe around there as well. Are these going to... No. Pipe. Now let's screw that for now. Okay. So I think we'll just build it on the plane and then rotate it around to where we need it. So let's start with a square from the center, of course, and we'll keep it a little bit oblong, and then let's subdivide it. Lots of subdividing here, and let's do this like that, and then subdivide it again. Right, subdivide it again. Actually, let's scale these in like that. Bevel those up like that. Bevel these up. Chamfer these like that. Then bevel them. Well, let's not bevel them for now. Then let's duplicate the mesh, or not the mesh, and let's scale it down like that. Let's G that. Okay. Let's hide that for a second. And then let's make a square like that. Okay, and then let's subdivide that square and do that, and let's scale these out like so, and let's scale these out like so. And then maybe just drag this one south like that. Maybe that's too far, but I kind of like that shape. Now let's bevel these ever so slightly in the positive direction. Okay, so we now have this kind of clipper. Let's unhide our other rectangle. Okay, and what we will do is we'll drag that into there. We'll Q it out, or W it out of there. You can hide that again. That didn't go all the way through, did it? No. Then we can bevel that like that. And that like that. We need to make sure that these are actually beveled. Alrighty. Which is the wrong way. This is the right way. Okay. Alright, and then we can unhide this guy again. Maybe. No, we just want a circle in there, don't we? So we can actually get rid of all of our curves now. And I think we do want to sort of give this some kind of level of roundness. So let's just isolate the guy that we're working on. actually, let's make that a construction plane. Make that nice and round. Get rid of our temporary. Oh, hang on. Oh, damn it. Oh well. There we go. Can QQ those together. And thanks everybody that's been watching. I think some of you have been here for a little while. And then alrighty, so let's get this circle in here. This plastic circle. Is there a center to this? Oh, let's get off our temporary construction plane. Alrighty, and then let's just lift that up like that. Bevel it out. And we're going to keep that as a separate object for texturing purposes. So we'll call this one metal opener, metal key opener, and then we'll call this one plastic component. Important to name the type of product it is. If you want to make like a base material and link it to something in Instamat, it's a pretty powerful workflow. So let's just get out of isolated mode and let's just take these two here. And I think and we can rotate on the pivot here. And we can just drag it down here. We can scale on that same pivot. I want it to be a little bit chunky. And there we go. Now, is there any other details to these tins of sardines? I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And I can also do a version in Blender where I've like got a rolled open thing. I wouldn't know how to approach that in Plasticity. Okay, I think that is absolutely fine. I think maybe, is there any like chamfers or bevels on the... Maybe something just like that to catch the light, and that's it. And that's done. So what have we made today? We'll just put this... and extruded one will go sardines tin. And we'll move this, Control G, and we'll call this sardines. Okay, so today on stream we have made the breakfast of champions. We'll make everything visible. We have a milk crate made on stream today, which looks fantastic, and the beer bottles might go in there as well. We have the beer bottle which is simple as it looks. We did do some nice detailing on here, which was great fun, and thanks for the advice, especially OKT, if you're still here, or Oct, on the find boundary loops, because that was something I did not know. Find boundary edges. And then finally we finished off with a tin of sardines down here. And this will all be going into my what do you call it? Little project that I'm working on in Unreal Engine. Once I start texturing everything, you'll know about it. And thanks for watching the stream again, guys. And I'll see you either next week or the week after. Well, probably not next week. I'm going away. So maybe the week after I'll stream again. And thanks a lot for being here. Oh, and finally, one last plug. Okay. Engon Pro is on sale on the Blender market at 25% off. The link's in the description. The sale ends like at American time at midnight tomorrow, I think, at their time, 25th of February. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Tschüss.